Welcome, everyone. It's Play the Kids, sponsored by Roughneck Scarves and part of the Beautiful Game Network. I am Kevin McCamish, and you can find me on Stumptown Footy and the USL Show. Don't forget to subscribe via iTunes, Google Play, or Stitcher via our website, playthekids.com. Of course, if you're listening, you're probably going to playthekids.com to listen to it. Today, Josh is back, and we may also have Thomas Keene with us. I say may because it's a little late Wednesday night, and I've gone ahead and started at our predetermined recorded time, but he's not here yet. So I think I did this to you before, Josh. I went ahead and started, and when you join, and I'll introduce you. So hopefully he comes in. If not, at least we have Josh and I here. Hoping to test out how three people might work out going forward, since it's difficult to schedule things, between Josh and I thought maybe a third person or some rotating people to come in, kind of expand the hosts or guest hosts that we have here at Play the Kids. So look for that as the rest of the season goes forward. Thomas is one of the people I'm looking at. Have actually another person interested. If you're listening, you like T2, if you want to join or maybe be on every once in a while, give me a shout, DM me or tweet me at KMcCamishPDX. Definitely interested to hear from anyone who's interested in doing that. So right off the bat, some news. It's been a while. We are back. I had our last episode up a week earlier than scheduled in June, due to some maintenance on Beautiful Game Network that kind of prevented uploading for that normal week. So that actually gave us 2 weeks off, and then I missed 2 straight weeks due to schedule conflicts. So apologies. My new job really kind of picked up. Small 3-person team. One person was off for a week, so I was doing 12-hour days for a full week, and then we just couldn't get anything scheduled with when you work. So I work so much. So, but we're back. So it's been a month. I think June 21st was when I released the last episode. We interviewed Josh Phillips, which was super awesome. I know it's been a long time. So again, my apologies on that, but we are back. And like I said, we are looking to expand our host count, of which hopefully we will have Thomas join us today. So if things work out, maybe he'll join full time. Maybe we'll find other interested parties, work a rotation system, something we'll see. Again, tweet me at KMcCamishPDX if you're interested. I definitely want to hear from you. On our last episode, we interviewed Josh Phillips. Please go back, check that out. Despite some technical difficulties on my end, of course, I know it was on my end because I could hear in the original recording everything Josh said on his side, and I could tell he was getting frustrated. So. But despite all that, very good interview. Much shorter than I intended, but such is the way of things sometimes. I've discovered some issues with my personal laptop. The second one I've actually had since starting podcasting, and I guess I don't have the best of luck with these. So today I'm using my work laptop, which, a $2,000 laptop versus a $300 laptop. Obviously, I don't suspect there's going to be any problems tonight.
The Lamborghini of laptops.
It's a very nice laptop. Like I said, I was wanting to buy one of my own, and then I saw how much they were, and I was like, nope. But anyway, so hopefully no technical issues tonight. If you are hearing issues in episodes, please let me know, let Josh know so we can remedy them. I don't always go back and listen to my own stuff. So if you hear, like long cutouts, long pauses or something, just be like, hey, check out such and such time on your episode. You might have an issue there. But again, I hopefully have remedied it with this temporary situation. But anyway, on for some actual T2 news. So been a rough summer for T2, obviously. Last episode, they had already lost 2 games, with 4 more on top of that we'll briefly discuss today. 3 more losses. So that's a total of 4 losses in a row before they got a win to stop that slide. Unfortunately, to then turn around and lose again. So 5 out of their last 6 losses. It's not ideal. That's 3 points out of 26, 3 out of 18 possible. It's not good, but it's not as bad as you might think, and we'll get into that. So yeah, while unfortunate, certainly, definitely has to be said that T2 are still, despite that, having the best points per game season in their short history. So in order for them to equal the next best season at the point, in the games played, they would actually have to lose all 3 of their next games, which is not outside the realm of possibility. Obviously, we don't want that to happen, but realistically, it could. If they lost all 3 of their next games, then they would equal the points per game through 23 games in 2015, which was the next best season. So, again, despite losing 5 out of their last 6, they're actually doing quite well. At least, compared to seasons. Still in a playoff spot. So despite the significant summer swoon, still in 7th place, 29 points through 20 games. That's 1.45 points per game, a 9.29 record. T2 sitting 1 point above Colorado and Fresno. Colorado is in the playoffs. Fresno's out on tiebreakers. So depending on how this weekend goes, we could finally slip out of the playoff race. Both Colorado and Fresno have warmed things up after slow starts to their seasons. Hopefully we don't. Hopefully we get the win, keep things going, at least, maybe get at least a road seed. Would be nice to make the playoffs, but, as things are going right now, they're kind of sliding into what they're usually doing, which is, maybe making the playoffs, but usually just falling just short. So have to see how it goes. Foster Langsdorff leading T2 with 8 goals in 15 games so far. Marvin Loria with the 3-assist lead. That's through 16 games. And for obvious reasons, we've slipped well out of the league lead for both goals scored and shutouts. But it was nice while it lasted, right?
Yeah, it was some really, really beautiful football early on. The last time we recorded together, I think that we were just sort of at the tail end of the spring, and the team doing well and us being very full of praise for their place in the standings and the football that we saw on the pitch. So they have it in them, not losing the faith, and there's a lot of games left.
Yeah, they got 14 games remaining. If they can rediscover their early season form, they can definitely have quite the successful season. I think just making the playoffs needs to be classified as a successful season.
Sure.
It'll be the first time they will make the playoffs if they do. So obviously that'd be a success. And granted, despite the losses, I keep saying this, but despite the losses, like Cameron Nullis is doing quite well with the team. There's some players, particularly Langsdorff and Loria, who I'm dying to see them make the first team sooner rather than later. Whether it happens this season or next season is entirely up to the club. They're obviously making very good decisions. And someone like me, who is very overweight and out of shape and sits at home all the time watching soccer, has literally no reason whatsoever to tell anybody whose job it is to pick who starts in an 11 to do such a thing. Just knowing that there's good talent that is now this season being well developed for future use makes me quite happy. So no matter what happens, at least it's not going to be 2017. Am I right?
Yeah. Hopefully that year will never, or that season like that will never repeat itself, I hope.
I hope not. I mean, it definitely seems more and more an outlier. Obviously, we started off quite well this season. We're sliding in towards the 2015, 2016 mean. So it's kind of, despite the start, we're kind of sliding in. But even if we stay along that 15, 16 mean, like kind of being average, just outside the playoff picture, at least that's proving that more. At least we've got the better. It just proves more that 2017 is kind of an outlier. Something we really shouldn't be concerned about going forward. So anyway, 4 games to brief you on. So we'll dive in, maybe not maybe not dives. Dives not the right word. We're going to go through these pretty quick. But let's catch up on some of these briefly. So after the first two losses, which I believe I briefly discussed last episode back in June, of course, first of the four is T2 losing away to Reno. It's a 1-0 loss. Away games are definitely tough. Reno has shown that they are a playoff side, as much as I kind of don't want them to be, not for any particular reason other than they're associated with San Jose. They're a good side. So the nice thing is I think T2 and Reno played very evenly in this one. T2 edged Reno in shots total and shots on target, 13-12, 4-3. Still Reno only, they got the only stat that matters, which was a goal in the 81st minute from close range. So this one, you're going to have troubles on the road with your offense. Sometimes, if your offense is not firing on all cylinders, misses a couple good opportunities, has some difficulty on the road for whatever reason, it's when you really need your defense to step up. And the theme of the night is going to be the defense letting T2 down. Roy Miller made his T2 debut. As yes, he is still in the first team squad. So he got 45 recovery minutes in this game, playing in the first half. So at least while he was on the field, T2 held the shutout. Again, Roy Miller is starting to get some playing time, recover from his injury. So that's always good to see.
Yeah, I mean,
bringing some experience to the backer line, although
recognizing how incredible of a recovery that is. To come back from his injury and to already be playing and putting in time like that. So, I mean, that is, it's great. It's great to see Roy Miller out there. You're watching so much first team football, you almost forget that Roy Miller was was an important part of the team last year. And, he's a pretty darn good defender. So I'm glad to see him contributing to T2.
Yeah. It's all those twos again get caught up on each other, don't they?
Yeah.
I know. It's like any and a lot of scores, since I think like 2-1 score lines are pretty common.
Yeah.
T2 loses 2-1. T2 wins 2-1. There was a game I remember, T2 S2 draw 2-2, and I just wanted to hang myself. It's like, oh God, don't do this to me. Anyway. So there's that. Again, I'm not going to mention too much about Roy Miller because I like him, and I'm not going to have very nice things to say about the defense as we continue on. Not a lot of it's his fault. He's just getting minutes here and there to kind of get back in shape.
Yeah.
But there's mistakes the defense is making.
That 81st minute goal, at Reno, they, as you said, they'd held tight pretty well. And then sort of, Farfan overplays his man on the right side. And, that's not even a set piece mistake. That was just miss overplaying. And then there's some mismarking right in the, what is that? 6 yards out,
Yeah.
It's just, it was almost easy peasy. I mean, again, as you and I both say, we're chubby fathers. That's what,
yeah,
but easy peasy in the sense of that you would have higher expectations of a defense to be able to scramble, mark their man, and keep that kind of ball from being such an easy goal,
Well, and that's the thing, because like a lot of these things, these games as we go on to the next one. Actually, let's go ahead. The next one's T2 losing at home to Fresno 4-2.
Oh boy.
So we have here the offense is back. They scored 2 goals.
Yeah.
But again, the defense continues to let the team down, giving up 4 goals. Not even so much the keeper, McIntosh doing quite well for himself still, making some good saves here and there. But just being like the defenses, they're not making their rotations correctly. They're not stepping up when they need to step up. They're not they're not following their marks appropriately. They're making a lot of silly mistakes, and unfortunately, it's costing them goals and of course points on the table, and it's a big reason why they've been sliding down. Now, all these teams that they've played, Reno, Fresno, Swope Park Rangers, they are good teams.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things where it's like, I don't want to harp on them that much.
Right.
Only giving up a goal in Reno, that's not bad. It would have been a lot better, obviously, if we had been able to get a goal and steal a point, or two goals, which
they almost did too. I mean, there was that blast in the 90th minute away at Reno. They almost, but it was a great save. So that Reno result is not upsetting. I mean, that's going to happen. It's this home result versus Fresno where, it's like a goal in the 20th minute or so, and it was a really nice ball, but, and then there's that, a penalty, just 2 minutes later, and then, I don't know, then in the, the 50th minute, they give up.
Interesting. I just lost Josh. Well, I'll continue where he left off, and hopefully he can rejoin. So, as he was saying, with Fresno, they're a good team. They're a very good team. They had a slow start to the season. A lot of things didn't go their way in the beginning. They've got too much talent. Specifically, Juan Pablo Caffa. He's like one of the best midfielders in USL. Sadly, he decided to hit his stride here in Portland. When Fresno got their first goal in the 21st minute, that was a Caffa assist to Cheney. 2 minutes later, Loria, he giveth, he taketh away. He unfortunately made a foul. It was right on the edge of the box. But the ref, without hesitation, whistled for the PK. Caffa steps up, takes it, converts in the 24th minute, and Fresno's up 2-0. A few minutes later, Langsdorff gets a goal via PK in the 36th minute, makes it a 2-1 game at the half. At that point, you're looking like, hey, this might be okay. But unfortunately, Fresno gets 2 more goals. Argueta in the 51st. Caffa scores himself a brace in the 65th minute. Kind of imagine, if you will, a poor man's USL version of Diego Valeri. Give me one quick second here. So,
sorry about that.
That's all right. Josh is back. But anyway, so at that point, Fresno's up 4-1. Loria, who did give up the PK, kind of saved himself a little bit here, gets a really nice goal in the 79th minute. But unfortunately, T2 still lose 4-2. And a lot of the problems we're seeing with some of these goals, these free kick goals, they're not even really well taken free kicks. It's particularly in Caffa's free kick goal in, I think, the 65th minute. He's literally taking it from the arc on top of the box. It's the wall didn't bother to jump. Maybe they didn't think he would try to go over the wall and get it up and down in that short of a distance. But I saw no effort from the wall to try to stop him, and he got it up, over, and down, and then they're up 4-2. It's pretty unfortunate. This is another game where T2 edges Fresno in shots, 14-12. But Fresno were pretty darn efficient. They got 6 of their 12 shots on target to T2's 5. And obviously with 4 goals scored, that's 50% of their shots on frame, 75% of those converted. So very efficient from Fresno, not good from T2. Pretty bad there. Up next, T2 did get the win. They broke the 4-game losing slide. They won at home to Swope Park Rangers 2-1, a very good win over a very good side. But what you kind of notice if you do pay attention to USL is that MLS2 sides really tend to have bad summers. And I think a big part of this is the loans, the first team loans that a lot of these 2 sides rely on. I think T2, Swope Park Rangers, even Real Monarchs to some degree, though they try to play older veteran players and aim for winning. But New York Red Bulls too. A lot of these teams, their first teams have people go out on national team duty, or get injured or suspended at this point of the season. As yellow cards kind of start to accumulate, so some of those loans go back to the first team, and that kind of makes the second team suffer. So it's kind of a reason why you see some of these swoons. T2 is no different. Not that pulling players is the reason why T2 are doing bad. I fully blame these defensive mistakes that are occurring. But the nice thing is that at least in the midst of all this, we did still get a win. Got it over another 2 side. Much better performance from T2. Obviously, they did win after all. And this game, you really look at it as kind of the Marvin Loria show. In the last game, he got himself a goal. He did give up a PK, but what I really, really love from this kid is how much he is running, and the amazing crosses he's putting in. He's got pace. He's got skill. He's an amazing winger, and I pray we can hold on to him and continue to develop him, because this kid's got a future. Of course, I've said that about a few other players that didn't end up making it out of T2, and who knows where they are now.
Yeah.
But I really think Loria, like Langsdorff, are 2 of the top players that T2 has right now. Loria is the only player that T2 has. Langsdorff is a first-team player on a homegrown contract, but technically, either way, these 2 are the top 2 players you will see play with T2 that I think have the most upside, the biggest potential to find their way to the first team on a regular basis down the road. Probably not this year, barring injuries or an absolute outstanding performances in training. I think Giovanni Sorrese has really made it clear that everyone gets a chance. You work hard Monday through Friday, you'll get to play Saturday. So if they can outperform the first team regulars, obviously they'll get a chance. But the nice thing with all that is that there's competition. So the first team regulars are themselves not taking anything for granted and working really hard and earning their way onto the first team and doing quite well. So overall, from top to bottom, it seems to be that the club is doing very well developing players this year. And Loria is obviously one of them. So after this game, he earned himself a spot on the team of the week. Got himself a goal and an assist in this match. Langsdorff opened the scoring in the 23rd minute. Loria stole the ball in Swope Park's half, 30 yards from goal. Played a wonderful pass to Langsdorff, getting him in behind the defense. And from there, Langsdorff is not going to miss. Gets his team leading 8th goal of the season. Loria also got his goal assisted by Williamson in the 2nd minute of first half stoppage time. And to lead T2 2-0 into the break. Good way to go in the locker room at half, being up 2-0. Unfortunately, Swope Park were able to cut the deficit in the 59th minute with a header from Wilson Harris. It's again one of those situations where the defense could have done better in marking and not overcommitting themselves to the runner, but unfortunately, that just happens. So in this one, Swope Park Rangers led in shots 21-16, but T2 edged in shots on target 6-4. Langsdorff himself had 3 shots on target. 7 of the 16 total shots were taken by himself. So very good there. It also appears that Josh has lost again. So I'll keep going all by my lonesome and hope that Josh comes back. Here I am having laptop problems last episode and probably a few episodes before that. Now it's Josh. Such is the way of things. The last game to cover really quickly, T2 lose at home to Las Vegas Lights, 2-1. 2-1 loss. The most crazy, insane team that you probably have ever laid eyes upon comes to Portland. If you don't know much about Las Vegas Lights, I highly recommend you do some research on the internet, because they do some things you just wouldn't expect soccer teams to do. You might have heard the term llamas. You might have heard the term marijuana dispensary. You might have heard, their technical director, Schalise himself. Their mascot is a Johnny, like an Elvis stuffed guy on a motorcycle whose name is Cash, probably for Johnny Cash, and because it's Vegas and there's a lot of cash flowing, I don't know. It's maddening. I do recommend catching a home game on ESPN Plus or a delayed one on YouTube if you haven't. It's something you got to see. So to sum all that up, if you want to try to figure out what Vegas is, Las Vegas Lights are, it's like if you ran a soccer club as if it were performance art. It's about as close as I can get. Literally crazy. Sadly, this performance art, parading itself as a soccer club, gets all 3 points. And wouldn't you know it, add insult to injury, 2 former Cascadia rival players who just couldn't make it nonetheless, get the goals. Omar Salgado, anyone? Yeah, apparently he still plays soccer. Did not know that. So Vegas got their goals from Sammy Ochoa in the 53rd minute, Omar Salgado in the 74th minute. And again with T2's defense not being able to defend a simple free kick, not jumping to head the ball away from your goal. It blows my mind that Omar Salgado got a free kick goal and it wasn't, again, not even that good. Well, I guess actually it's more mind blown that he actually plays soccer still, and for Vegas Lights of all places. But yeah, so those are those 2 goals, Ochoa and Salgado. It's like, what is this, 2011? T2 get their goal sandwiched in between those from Barmby in the 63rd minute, assisted by Langsdorf. Pretty decent cross. Barmby one time deflects it / shoots it into the back of the net, just coming off the inside of the post. So it's a pretty good goal there. T2 and Vegas were even on shots, 13 each. Vegas edged shots on target, 4-3. Obviously, also edged on goals scored and got all 3 points. And so that's the most 4 recent games we haven't talked about. It's not good. Again, the biggest issue here is the defense kind of making these simple mistakes. I don't like to see that because they have been, prior to this, losing 5 out of their last 6, had been quite well defensively. So I don't know what has happened to cause them to kind of fall apart like this defensively. Offensively, they're in about the same place. If they can get 1 or 2 goals pretty easily, if they're sharp enough, if they got their shooting boots on, 1 or 2 goals, it's not that far out of reach. Particularly if Langsdorf plays. They've played 20 games this season. No, 22 games. 20 games. Yeah, they played 20 games. Langsdorf has obviously only appeared 15 times. In those 15 appearances with 8 goals, he knows how to score. He's doing quite well at it. So when I see Langsdorf on the team sheet, I'm pretty excited, and I always hope that there will be a goal or 2 in it for him, and as well as T2. So really, the problem is the defense here. They need to shape up, need to stop making these simple mistakes, go back to where they were getting a league-leading, tally of shutouts, and thus getting all the points. And if they can get back to that, then we'll secure a playoff spot. I don't know if we can climb the table, but at least we can hopefully kind of hold on to what we've got and not worry too much there. Outside of all this, Augustine Williams named Young Player of the Year in the USL midseason fan voting. He has 4 goals and 2 assists so far in 2018. He's done well enough this year, but I don't know why he was voted Young Player of the Year in fan voting. I didn't. To be fair, I didn't look at it because I do the media voting. But I mean, it's good for him. He's a fantastic player, but I'm not sure why he was voted Young Player of the Year. 4 goals, 2 assists. To each his own. Still, congratulations to Augustine Williams. And regardless of what I'm thinking, he's still a fantastic player. So don't take my why as a sign of insult to his talent or anything. I don't know who he was up against competing, and maybe it was just a whole bunch of Timbers fans that voted for him, which would be fantastic. With this type of fan voting, because Cincinnati fans probably it feels like they comprise 50% of the entire league because they're so vocal and love to complain about everything. See our last episode of the USL show for more details. I'm just surprised that when it's a fan voting, Cincinnati just doesn't win everything, because it's there were other fan votes that happened at the same time, and there were people that just did not deserve it that won because they were part of the FC Cincinnati club. So that's where I'm kind of going at. Anyway, so that's it for those games. This was the time I was going to have Josh cover 4th division updates. The seasons are over for everyone except for FC Malus. Unfortunately, it does appear his laptop is fully dead this time. I still find that ironic that I was having laptop issues last week or last month, and now it happens to Josh. But anyway, so everyone's season's over. I don't really know the details, unfortunately, because Josh didn't add it to our show notes, so I can't just read off what he put. I do know that FC Malus are in the semifinals of the NPSL something or other. I don't. I know that's not helpful for people who actually might care about this, so I do apologize. Just know that FC Malus, I believe, won the Northwest Division, the Northwest Division of the Western Conference, whatever it was. Made it to the NPSL playoffs, and now they're in the semifinals. So I believe, and Josh will have to correct me either via Twitter or in our next episode, I believe that means, prior to just being in the semifinals, FC Malus will be in next year's U.S. Open Cup, very much like I believe Kitsap Pumas were in. Was the Kitsap Pumas? Yeah, they were in this most recent iteration, 2018. They played the Timbers under 23s, who also made it. It would be really cool. FC Malus versus the Portland Timbers. If they make it far enough, that'd be cool. That's the whole reason why we want teams like PDX, FC Malus to win these games, be supported, and go out and try to win their division so that they can make the U.S. Open Cup and provide these nice little so we don't always have to face Seattle in the first round, which we didn't this year. That was a nice thing. Seattle, messed up all on their own, and we just didn't have to play them to begin with, so which is cool. It was a shocker, but a welcome one. Not having to play them for a 15th time this year. Anywho, up next for T2, we've got away to Los Dos this Saturday, July 28th at 1 p.m. And then right after that, they are away to Orange County, Wednesday, August 1st at 12:30 p.m. Yes, you heard that right. Is another weekday afternoon game, which means probably no one's going to watch it unless you're able to take a 2-hour lunch break on a Wednesday. Following up those 2 away games, they will return home. They will face top side Phoenix Rising Sunday, August 5th at 2 p.m. That is the Phoenix Rising side that is owned, operated, and by Didier Drogba, and he also plays every once in a while. Probably won't play here. I don't know if he likes to travel. I'm not sure. But anyway, after that, one more away trip, this time going to Swope Park on Saturday, August 11th at 5:30 p.m. And then we get 5 straight home games after 2 away, 1 home, 1 away. So those are the next 9 games. 2 away, 1 at home. 1 away, 5 at home. Hopefully T2 can do better at home. Hopefully they can do better in the defense, sharpen up. solidify, keep those goals out of the net. If they do that, obviously the points will come and we'll climb, get at least solidify where we're at, maybe climb up the table a little bit. Hopefully, I would like to stay in the playoffs. Just stay, that would be great. But we'll see how that goes. An away trip, kind of rough. Going away to Orange County is going to be really rough because they're a really good team. Coming home facing Phoenix Rising is going to be rough because Phoenix Rising's a really good team, home and away. When they score, they like to score a lot of goals. So that's either going to be a goal fest, probably not in T2's favor, or it'll be a really tight, 0-0, 1-1 affair. We'll have to see. I'll take a 0-0, 1-1. After that, let's see. We beat Swope Park at home. Can we do it on their turf? We'll find out. After that, 5 straight home games. And if I don't see 15 points out of that, I think we'll all be disappointed. So that's it for us. Where you can find me online, I am at KMcCamish PDX. I am also at PTK Podcast. Sometimes you can find me at Stumptown Footy. And occasionally, rarely, you can find me at the USL Show. Certainly on the USL Show, but not usually behind the Twitter feed. Thanks to our sponsor, Roughneck Scarves, the official scarf supplier of MLS, USL, and US Soccer. Get custom scarves for your group or team at roughneckscarves.com. I think I need to look that up myself because I kind of want to make a Play the Kids scarf. I don't know if anybody would buy one, but kind of want to make one anyway. Thanks also to the beautiful Game Network. You can find Play the Kids on BGN.FM or, of course, playthekids.com. Much easier to remember. Don't forget to subscribe using our links to iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher via playthekids.com. One last thing. Want to remind everybody again, if you're interested in joining me on this show, even if it's just once or if it's multiple times or you want to be a permanent host, join Josh and I on here. I am really looking to expand this to 3 people, these shows to 3 people, just to provide more information, more viewpoints. I kind of want to expand this. So please, please, please let me know. Tweet me at KMcCamishPDX that you're interested. We'll hook up, emails, stuff like that. Get your information. We'll set something up. Either I'll schedule you for an outright episode or we'll just talk. Either way, if you're interested at all, please contact me and join the show. Looking forward to it. The other last thing, if you are part of the Patch Patrol, perhaps you are part of the Timbers Army Patch Patrol, you listen to the show, that's cool. I'm on your Facebook group. I haven't actually said anything on there, but I am on there. I'm looking, gauging interest on seeing if people would be interested in a Play the Kids patch. Again, I'm out here making T-shirts and stickers. Now I'm thinking about scarves and patches, doing the whole merchandising thing. I want to make a patch for myself, and maybe I'll make a big run, but I don't know where where a good place is to make patches. But yeah, hit me up again if you got some information on where I can make a good patch. Or if you'd be interested in a Play the Kids patch, let me know. Again, all that cool stuff, perhaps coming down the road, perhaps a third host coming down the road. We'll see. Lots of exciting things, despite busy summer with long work days, kids being out of school, having to entertain them, all that good stuff. And despite laptops dying. Sorry, Josh. But anyway, that's it for us. I am Kevin McCamish, and once again, I thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.